She looked him dead in the eyes, smiled, and said something that sounded completely normal. It was a casual Tuesday evening, the kind of night that should have ended in peace. But hours later, he was staring at the ceiling, his heart racing. He wasn't overthinking. His intuition was simply screaming a truth his ears weren't ready to hear. As a psychologist, I've seen this exact scene play out in my office hundreds of times. Most men are taught to listen to the literal meaning of a woman's words, but they aren't taught to decode the psychological intent behind them. In the world of human behavior, what people say is often a polite mask for what they actually mean. Today, I'm going to pull back that curtain. I'm going to give you 5 specific sentences that, if you hear them, you need to stop, turn around, and walk away. This isn't about being cold or judging her character. It's about protecting your own mental health and your future. If you stay after hearing these, you aren't being supportive. You are participating in your own emotional decline. Stay with me until the final point, because that one sentence is responsible for more wasted years of men's lives than almost anything else in modern dating. The first sentence that should trigger an immediate exit strategy is, "I'm not really looking for anything serious right now, but I love spending time with you." To a man who is high value and loyal, this sounds like a challenge. He hears, "I'm not ready," and translates it to, "I just haven't met the right guy yet." He thinks that if he provides enough stability, enough fun, and enough support, she will eventually realize he's the exception to her rule. But from a psychological standpoint, this is a massive red flag. What she is actually communicating is that she wants the emotional and physical benefits of a relationship, the validation, the intimacy, the +1 for events, without the weight of responsibility. The moment you agree to stay under these terms, you have signed a contract where you are the only one with something to lose. You become an emotional placeholder. While you are investing your heart, she is keeping her options open. Attachment theory shows us that humans need security to thrive. When you live in this gray area, your brain stays in a constant state of low-level panic. You start analyzing every text and every silence, and you mistake that anxiety for passion. It's not passion, it's a nervous system under threat. Strong men don't wait for a seat at a table that was never set for them. If she tells you she isn't looking for something serious, believe her the first time and leave. The second sentence is a subtle warning that most men mistake for a compliment. "I'm a really complicated person, and most people can't handle me." In our culture, we often romanticize complexity. We think it means she's deep, mysterious, or has a tortured soul that needs understanding. But in the world of clinical psychology, healthy, high-functioning adults don't lead with their dysfunction as a badge of honor. When someone tells you they are complicated or a lot to handle early on, they aren't sharing a secret. They are issuing a disclaimer. They are telling you that they haven't processed their past traumas or behavioral patterns yet, and they expect you to pre-approve the chaos they are about to bring into your life. It's a psychological get-out-of-jail-free card. If she ghosts you, yells at you, or acts out, she can later say, "Well, I told you I was complicated." You are looking for a partner, not a renovation project. You cannot fix someone who is proud of being broken. Relationship satisfaction comes from 2 whole people coming together, not one person trying to glue another person back together. When you hear this, wish her well on her journey of self-discovery, but don't join her for the ride. Third, you must be extremely cautious if she ever says, "You are honestly too good for me." At first, this feels like the ultimate ego boost. You feel like the hero, the knight in shining armor who has finally arrived to show her what a real man looks like. But psychologically, this is a distancing maneuver. By placing you on a pedestal, she is ensuring she never has to meet you on level ground. It is an exit strategy disguised as a compliment. If she believes, or claims to believe, that you are too good, then she has already justified her future failures. When she eventually pulls away or treats you poorly, the narrative is already written. I told you I'd let you down, you're just too perfect for someone like me. This creates a savior complex in men. You think that by giving more love, you can prove her wrong. But you cannot love someone into believing they deserve you. True attraction is built on mutual respect and equal investment. If she tells you that you're too good for her, take her word for it. Don't argue, don't try to convince her otherwise. Just move on to someone who is ready to meet your standard. The fourth sentence is a massive indicator of emotional immaturity. Every single one of my exes was toxic and crazy. It is true that there are toxic people in the world, and many women have genuinely suffered at the hands of bad men. However, when every single past relationship has the exact same villain and the exact same victim, there is a missing variable: self-reflection. Psychology teaches us that we all play a role in the dynamics we choose. A person who has grown from their past will say, I was in a bad situation, and I realized I had to work on my boundaries. A person who hasn't grown will simply blame the other party entirely. If she cannot identify her own patterns or the choices she made that led her to those situations, she is doomed to repeat them with you. In her mind, she is a perpetual victim. The problem with dating a perpetual victim is that eventually the script will flip and you will become the new toxic ex in her next story. The moment you do something she doesn't like, or the moment you set a firm boundary, you will be added to her list of crazy men. Look for accountability, not just accusations. Finally, we come to the most common sentence that keeps men stuck in a loop of misery. I don't really believe in labels. Let's just see where this goes. This is the silent killer of masculine confidence. Men often accept this because they don't want to appear needy or controlling. They want to be the chill guy who doesn't pressure her. But there is a massive difference between being controlling and being intentional. Wanting to define a relationship is a sign of a man who knows his value and respects his own time. When you live in a world without labels, your brain is under constant stress. Neurologically, humans hate ambiguity. Without a label or a commitment, you are constantly scanning for threats. You end up giving husband-level effort to a woman who is giving you maybe next week commitment. This imbalance slowly erodes your self-esteem. You stop speaking your truth, you stop expressing your needs, and you start shrinking yourself to fit into her undefined world. But here is the irony. Attraction dies when you shrink. Women are attracted to men who have direction and standards. By accepting a label-free existence, you are signaling that you don't value your own time. Walking away from these situations isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of high-level emotional fluency. It means you have listened to what is being communicated and you have responded with self-respect. The strongest men aren't the ones who stay and endure the most pain. They are the ones who have the courage to leave the moment they realize the alignment is gone. Every time you walk away from a red flag, you are training your brain to believe that you deserve better. You are raising your internal standard. When she says she isn't ready, choose a woman who is. When she says she's complicated, choose a woman who is clear. When she blames everyone else, choose a woman who takes ownership. This isn't about being mean or red-pilled. It's about being a mature man who understands that his peace is non-negotiable. Don't spend your life trying to solve a puzzle that doesn't want to be solved. Invest your energy where it is returned. and never settle for a seat at a table where respect is not on the menu. Your future self will thank you for the doors you had the courage to close today.